Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I am just going to be going over my thoughts on the new solo rated battleground that is going to be implemented next patch. I feel like this is huge news. I don't really do it, like I talk about this on stream more rather than making this like a video. But since this is huge news, at least to me, I feel like making a video on it and just giving my thoughts on it. I don't have anything written down on I'm just going right, giving my full on thoughts about this whole entire thing, and that's what this is going to be about. So, as you guys know, yesterday patch 10.2 is got announced. The droid customizations, which is probably like my favorite thing that they have announced so far, and all the other PVE stuff. But since I don't do PVE, it doesn't really do anything. But I was worried about there was going to be no new PvP stuff because I didn't see anything in the video. And then later on, they announced the solo queue rated battleground thing. So before I go ahead and read all over this, I'm going to say my pros and cons about this real quick. Pros, I'm not a huge arena player. I don't really like arena. I just force myself to do it for conquest and stuff. A lot of people I know don't really like arena. A lot of people on my stream said they don't like arena. I don't think arena is really that popular and people just kind of do it. So I personally think that this will probably be pretty popular. There still will probably be some decent queue times, but I think a rated battleground will probably be pretty popular. So I feel like this is a huge win. I'm personally excited for it because I love battlegrounds more than anything else in this game. It's my favorite thing to do, so I'm looking forward to this personally. Now for the cons, like Soul Shuffle, there's probably going to be a lot of people that abuse it, where they either leave or which is probably going to be a huge problem. And there might be some people who might just throw the match. Those are the only cons I can really honestly think of. I imagine Blizzard will probably obviously do something about that. But that's my cons to what I think about rated solo queue. But other than that, I'm personally excited for this, and that's my current opinion on it. Now, let's go ahead and dive right into and see read this blue post about it. So, of course, they're saying they're going to experiment with this. They said the same thing about Solo Shuffle, but I imagine it's going to be the same thing. They'll bring it to. It won't be a brawl at some point. Some people are kind of confused about this, by the way, and I imagine, like I said, it's going to be the same thing about with Solo Shuffle. It'll be up permanently, and then at some point they'll just add rating to it. That's my guess. I don't quote me on that though, but I'm assuming that's probably going to be what they're going to be doing. This is the part where it's interesting. Instead of 10v10, it's going to be 8v8, which I think it's better that way, anyways. I think 8v8 is probably going to be better in the long run. At least they didn't do 6v6 because if you guys have done the brawl, it always ends early and it's a gigantic pain. So I feel like 8v8 is a pretty good sweet spot. So I'm pretty happy to see that they picked 8v8 instead of 10v10. What could be potentially become solo queue in the future. We learned from Solo Shuffle that informed gameplay considerations of battlegrounds and solo queue environment for this brawl will be discussed here. So, we've been happy with Solo Shuffle lowered the barrier to entry in rated arenas and served as an accessible PvP game mode. The biggest obstacle we faced was the low ratio of healers to damage dealers, which not really too surprising. Here's again what I'm thinking. And reason I think this will do better. I feel like a lot more people again like battlegrounds more than arenas. Battlegrounds also doesn't have dampening, so I imagine healers will love that more. So there will probably be more healers active in rated solo queue. Just like I said, in my personal opinion, I might be wrong, but I think a lot more people like battlegrounds way more than arenas. But again, we'll see in the future. Which is typically 4 damage dealers for every healer waiting in queue for most active times. Yeah, I'm not really too surprised about this. This leads to long queue times for damage dealers. It was an early concern when we first launched Solo Shuffle as a brawl. Not surprised. Especially after shifting away from tanks to be anchors in Solo Shuffle matches. Yeah, I feel like after they got rid of tanks, like the tank queue, the queues definitely did go a little bit longer, but I mean, I understand why people were upset about that. A lot more people are upset about tanks in arenas versus battlegrounds because battlegrounds, tanks help more often than they do in arena. So I could see that being an issue. We previously experimented in other formats and battlegrounds like Deep 6, which is actually a really fun brawl. It just has the player issue I was talking about before. We felt like team sizes were too small for some available maps, like especially large ones like AB. Yeah, that one looked to me a little bit rough. Additionally, we want to try some updates in map formats that will make a better solo queue experience from raid battlegrounds, for example, in domination maps such as Deep Win. The role of being a base sitter can result in tension in some solo queue environment. We also think that shorter match lengths would be more fun for solo queue players, bringing in more frequent moment-to-moment gameplay and decision making. Yeah, that's also probably, I didn't really think about that till now after reading that. But I think another con is that people hate defending bases. If you do random battlegrounds a lot, people hate defending. And speaking as a streamer, obviously, it's harder for me to defend personally. I mean, it's not really an excuse, but because I still hate defending enough as it is, anyways. But it's hard just sitting there and just twiddling your thumbs, hoping somebody will attack. So I get that's probably gonna be a huge issue for solo queue environment. Like I said, not excusing myself as a streamer. I know a lot of people hate it. Off stream, I sometimes even do defend my bases alone, but that's when I'm not streaming. Because I know nobody else will do it. There are also times where nobody's probably going to run a flag, and sometimes I force myself to do it. As you guys know, if you guys watched some of my videos and streams as well. So there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be interesting when doing this, but I'm still looking excited for it. I feel like the pros definitely outweigh the cons. But yeah, as for the shorter match lengths, I think that'll be a good idea. I think shorter matches are a pretty good idea. So we'll see how that works out. Our plan is to 8v8 format, and if you know a healer friend, you can bring them too. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Map mechanics are adjusted quicker with the goal of 10 to 12 minute lengths. And yeah, that's pretty good. 10 to 12 minutes, depending on the map. Sometimes they can be long. I feel like Deep Wind is probably the longest battleground in the game. At least it feels that way to me. And AB and all that can go like 15 to 20 minutes usually. Depending on how obviously how fast you cap and all that. Team composition: 8 players on each team will be made up of 2 healers instead of 3, because usually RBGs need 3. 5 to 6 damage dealers and 0 to 1 tanks. So, I feel like that's also a good idea because obviously matches that don't include tanks will not take place on capture the flag maps, which is good. I think that's a good idea. I don't think tanks will be having a huge issue. I think we'll probably get capture flags a lot. I see a lot more tanks these days. But I definitely think this is a good idea. Having the option if there's no tanks around, we'll get a different map. Opposing teams will always have the same number of tanks, not too surprising. Matches made with a tank on each team can take place on any map. That's also a good idea. Our goal with the increased ratio of healers to damage dealers as well as healers, having a duo queue option aims to alleviate potential longer queue times. So I'm glad they're taking into consideration the queue times. Again, I personally think that the queues will probably be long. I'm not gonna sit here and deny it. I think queues will be a little bit long, like Solo Shuffle. I don't think they'll be as long as Solo Shuffle. That's just me hoping, because like I said, I think people prefer battlegrounds over arenas. So I think the queues will still be long, but I don't think they'll be as long as 30 to an hour like Solo Shuffle is. So that's my hope, anyways. Map pool and mechanics. Initially, the map pool of that will be the usual maps: Twin Peaks, Warsong, Temple, Eye of the Storm, Silverstone Mines. Looks like there's no Seething Shore. I haven't done raid battlegrounds in a while, but I thought Seething Shore was part of it. Thank God that's not part of it, because Seething Shore and raided battlegrounds suck. So yeah. There will be general mechanics made across all the maps. On maps where you can cast to take the objective, the cast time has been reduced to 4 seconds. That's interesting. On domination maps, control points are captured 30 seconds after being contested, reduced from 1 minute. That's pretty good, I guess. On all maps, players will gain a buff that provides a large increase in mount speed. I'm assuming they're doing this because there's less players, so that's going to be very interesting. People just rush you. I don't know how fast it's going to be because obviously mount speed are 100%. So I'm curious on how like large increase mount speed. I mean, that's going to be weird. Several maps, there are new power-ups. Ooh! I hope they add these in, like, maybe randoms at some point. I'm still waiting for cooldown resets on every map, besides Seething Shore and Deep Wind. Shield of Protection provides a large absorb shield, so basically, Shield of Righteousness, or whatever it is, Shield of... Well, what's the thing that Rhett's called? I play so many classes, I can't remember everything. But I imagine something like that. Into the Shadows provides a player with stealth increased movement speed. Oh, basically a freaking rogue type thing. That's going to be disgusting. But that could be pretty cool. Just ambush the crap out of somebody. Rune of Frequency increases the cooldown rate. So basically, I'm imagining it's the same thing as the cooldown resets. It's just that it like doesn't reset it automatically. It just helps get your cooldowns back up faster, which is pretty nice. Shadow Insight provides stealth and invisible detection. This one's going to be very useful for those rats, so I'm looking forward to that. Overall, I feel like this is very interesting to me. The power-ups are going to be very nice. I'm looking forward to trying out those. The goal with the changes above is to provide more moment-to-moment decision-making while adapting to maps makes sense for a player team, it says. We looked up several factors on each map, including average game length, the size of the map, etc. The battleground, Eye of the Storm, AB, and Deep Wind will have the most significant changes. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I knew those three were probably going to be hit the most. So, Eye of the Storm, 4 nods available, only 2 capturable at a time. So, you can only capture 2 nods at a time. That's interesting. 1 per side, which awards points, with the middle flag being available to capture. Obviously, we know the 4 towers. When the middle flag is captured, the previous nods move to neutral and reset. So basically, you can only get 1 base at a time, and when the flag is captured, then the towers reset, I'm guessing? That's that's something. That's going to be weird, but that could be pretty fun. Points for capturing a flag are significantly increased, so flag makes a huge difference. Got it. When a flag is captured, the existing available nods will become uncapturable. After 15 seconds, the other set of nods will become available. So I'm guessing what this means is we capture Mage Tower and Blood Elf like it shows in the picture. And once somebody captures the flag, then Draenei Ruins and Fel Reaver become available, and we capture those. I'm assuming that's how it works. But I could be wrong, and I could be completely dumb. But that sounds really cool. AB and Deep Wind, 5 capturable nods. Yep, I mean, compared to Eye of the Storm, that 4. Increased resource acquisition. I mean, Deep Wind, like I said, takes a long time, same for AB. So that's not really surprising since they want to lower the time limit. After you capture a knob entirely, you control it for 45 seconds, then it deactivates and can be captured again 5 seconds later. So basically, if you capture Farm, for example, which is showing in the picture, you only hold it for 45 seconds, then you have to capture it again. To fully capture a nod, you have to complete the 4-second cast, then hold the point for 30 seconds without the enemy team capturing. I'm not entirely sure. I could be misreading it, but I'm not sure if you have to, like, you hold it the entire time or it just resets. Because I don't know. I don't know. It's just going to be one of those I have to experiment with. Warsong and Twin Peaks, the flag here buff Brutal Assault stacks 100% faster. Every stack 15 seconds from 30 seconds. Maximum game length set to 12 minutes. Well, that's going to be interesting. I mean, nothing really changed for Warsong and Twin Peaks. That's not surprising, though. Gilneas, the worst map. Garbage. Increased resource rates. I'm not really surprised about that. And Silver Shard Mines and Temple, no changes planned initially. These maps are fast-paced. Right? Yeah, I'm not really surprised. Silver Shard Mines and Temple definitely didn't need any changes. Because Temple's the fastest battleground in the game. As mentioned above, we are... whatever that is, of the tension that can come from having a dedicated defender roles within the battleground. The gameplay changes for AB, Deep Wind, and Eye of the Storm, and alleviate that tension. And last but not least, looking ahead, we are approaching this idea in a tempered manner, so adding a new format to PvP is a big commitment. Our intent is to implement this feature as a PvP brawl first. Yep, just like Solo Shuffle. So we can experiment with the format, discover any problems, and consider player feedback. If the format is well received during the brawl, we can dig in additional details on the play and rating mode, including rating changes, how ladder will work, and all that stuff that Solo Shuffle had before. We will host a PvP brawl, testing it out. Okay. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys excited for this? Me personally, I'm super excited for this. As a battleground player, I could not be any more happy. Like, I am super happy. I know everybody's opinion on this is probably going to be different. Some people might disagree with what I said. Some people might not. But let me know what you guys think. And I will see you guys later.